What is up, everybody? Shauna D Man here, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys are having yourselves a great weekend. We are here to do a quick little review of Star Wars: The Mandalorian and Grogu, which dropped on Thursday. Went and saw it yesterday, and it was about what I expected and what a lot of people expected as well. As you can see from a lot of people online, a lot of people aren't a lot of people aren't liking the movie. Now you do have the, I guess if you want to call it, the Disney shields and stuff like that. They are out here thinking this is a great movie. In reality, it's not. It's not that great of a movie. It's it's basically a season 4 of the series, but with a movie release. That's essentially all it is. Because there are watching this movie, there are moments where you can tell this is where the episode would have ended if it was on Disney Plus. There's a scene later when captures Mando, and he gets taken aboard his ship, and you see Grogu like looking at it as the ship flies off, and it cuts to black. That's a cut as if it was supposed to be the end of the episode. And so it was just kind of like, oh, this is not very good. I think it's already got like a low Rotten Tomato score. A lot of fan reaction from what I have seen is a lot of people not liking it, and it's not really surprised the way Star Wars has been over the past couple of years. Now, this is the first Star Wars movie that has been in theaters in over 7 years since the rise of Skywalker back in 2019, 2018, 2019. But a lot of people already were kind of falling out with Star Wars at that point because of the rise of Skywalker. Then you had the disastrous series that is The Acolyte. Kenobi wasn't that great. You know, Ahsoka was a mixed bag. The only one I would probably say the only ones that were relatively good was like, you know, I thought Skeleton Crew was actually a very good Star Wars show. I thought it was very good. Andor, very solid Star Wars show. But you had the same people who will jump down your throat talking about Rey is Skywalker, or the sequel trilogies are amazing, are the same people who are like, I don't really like Andor. So their opinions are invalid to me. So this again, this movie just felt like, just watching it felt like a TV series. It just felt like it felt like a season 4. I remember a while back after season 3 of The Mandalorian concluded, like John Favreau talked about how, they had ideas for a season 4. They just hadn't fully committed to doing it just yet, because I guess they didn't know where the viewership was going to be and things like that. And I've seen some people talk about this movie being made because of the consistent talking of the potential Rey sequel trilogy. Um, like they made this movie to kind of put the Rey stuff like in a closet, and so people, wouldn't talk about it. But anyway, there's not much about the movie I really enjoyed. Um, it's definitely Dave Filoni esque. Um, like it was weird when this movie came out and you had Imbo as part of like the villain cast of this movie, because Imbo is just mainly just a bounty hunter. Like I like Imbo. I love this character in the Clone Wars series. He looked relatively good for a live action appearance, so it was okay. CGI was okay. Sigourney Weaver didn't really do much. I mean, she was just in it just to give Mando like his missions, and then at the end of the movie come and save him. Um, Zeb, interesting choice to have Zeb in it. Um, I feel like I like the I felt like the small bit of Zeb we got in season three of The Mandalorian. I think that CGI looked maybe a little bit better than what we got in the movie. Now, again, it was just a couple of seconds with the season three look compared to Zeb actually being involved in the movie, because Zeb was actually fighting stormtroopers and stuff like that. Um, I can see where there's like a lack of the CGI looking crisp because of it. Because in season three, Zeb is just walking up to Carson Teva and just talking with him and stuff like that. You see Dave Filoni sitting in the base on Aldani in his cowboy hat. But the movie basically just revolves around the New Republic, essentially trying to form relations with the Hutts. Now, at this time, the twins, the two Hutt twins, which I believe are the same ones from the Book of Boba Fett. I could be wrong, but I think they're the same ones from the Book of Boba Fett. But they are kind of in charge of everything, like Hutt related, since Jabba's death. Now, with Rhoda being alive, that kind of throws a complication into it. So they want to get rid of Rhoda. So so the New Republic has Mando go and rescue Rhoda so he can deliver Rhoda to the twins on Nahutta. In exchange, the Hutt twins will give the New Republic information about some Imperial remnants that are out there in the galaxy. Because at the end of season three of Mando, basically works for the New Republic in hunting down um, rogue Imperial remnants, and so he goes find Rhoda the Hutt. He's like this. We saw the clips and stuff. He's a big, muscular Hutt gladiator. Um, and it was just I don't know. This was just a I don't know how to describe this movie honestly. Now that I'm just like sitting here recapping everything in my mind, it's just some of the talking, some of the dialogue is like kind of stupid because like here's the thing, like, and I've seen people talk about this too, where the New Republic wants to get Rhoda to take them back to Nohada so the Hutt twins can provide information about Imperial remnants to the New Republic, but they're Hutts. They're gonna backstab you. And so they're gonna feed you information on where to find Imperial remnants, but then they're gonna feed information to those same Imperial remnants that you're coming, which then will prompt them to leave and not be there. They're Hutts. Of course you're not gonna trust the Hutts. So kind of like in the movie, Mando bypasses all that because he goes. Not only he gets Rhoda, but he also gets what is it, Janu? I think that was his name. They also get him, and he basically gives the information to Sigourney Weaver's character, and Sigourney Weaver's like, "Well, you backstabbed the Hutts. They're not going to be too happy about that." Well, I mean, the Hutts were going to backstab you anyway, so I mean, whatever. So that's why they hired Imbo to go to Navarro to not kidnap, I guess technically, but take Mando back to Nohada so they can kill him and everything like that. You got Grogu and the Anzilians uh, mount a rescue operation to go find him. Yeah, it just all feels like it should have been a TV show. This whole thing feels like a TV show. And what's interesting is let me see if I can find it real quick. Is the budget. Let's see. Let's see. Where did I see? So this does not this does not account for like the marketing and stuff like that. But so you at? So apparently, this is the lowest budget Star Wars film produced since Disney acquired Lucasfilm in 2012. So, this, if I'm reading this right, the budget for this movie was like $144 million because it was 166.4, but after a like $21 million tax credit from California, ugh, the product it came out to about $144 million. So in order to get that, now this doesn't include the marketing because they premiered like a 30-second Super Bowl ad, and how much was that super? How much was the Super Bowl ad? Let's see. Uh, Super Bowl ad. Um. So so keep in mind too. They even spent $10 million for a 30-second spot in the Super Bowl. 30 like $10 million for a 30-second clip in the Super Bowl. That's insane. So it looks like in order for this movie to become profitable, the Mandalorian and Grogu needs to hit $500 million globally. Now I don't even know if it will make that much. Because right now, let's see if I can. Like, I don't pay that much of attention to Rotten Tomatoes or like any kind of critic place, anything like that. Um, if I can find it. Let's see. So right now, oh my gosh. And plus, I think with oops, that's not actually what I wanted. And plus, with the way Pedro Pascal has been these past couple of weeks, with the whole like, was it kissing of Stephen Colbert on was it the Late Show or whatever? I don't really know. So this is so interestingly enough, Rotten Tomatoes has this as at a 64%. The fan side of things has this movie at an 89%. That's kind of interesting. Somebody said I didn't mind it, I didn't hate it, I like bits of it. Okay. This person has to be a troll. Excellent movie from start to finish. My favorite Star Wars film. Stop it. That's fake. Love all of it. Worth the wait. Stop it. These are. I hate. Jesus Christ. It was not that good. It was not that good of a movie. Like that. That idiot said, "Excellent movie from start to finish. My favorite Star Wars." So you're gonna say this is your favorite Star Wars movie compared to the original trilogy, Revenge of the Sith? Get out of here. Get out of here. That's how I know you're fake. That's how I know this is fake. But we'll see. We'll see if there's like a drop off because I mean, obviously this is the opening weekend. And I don't think Star Wars movies do that particularly well overseas. Let me see. Uh, okay, I appreciate it that they made something that feels like an extension of the show rather than a standalone Star Wars movie where the fate of the entire universe is on the line. It feels like an old fashioned, or it feels like the old Flash Gordon type series. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. I think families are gonna go and enjoy and watch it and enjoy it. Uh, yeah, and see, I think that's the sentiment that I'm getting from a lot of these reviews right here is that everybody is essentially viewing this not really as a movie, but just season 4 of The Mandalorian and Grogu with a movie release. That's all that is. And then, I mean, it's just, it is what it is, I guess. But, what else about the movie? I have not really talked about the movie that much, mainly because it wasn't that great. Um, Probably one of the more gruesome deaths we've seen, because at the end of the movie, the Hut twins get eaten by this. It's basically a non-rancor pit, but it has like a giant like snake in it. I thought that was a pretty cool looking creature. But it shows them get like swallowed and eaten by it. Which, funny enough, when I was watching the whole climax battle, you have Mando and Imbo fighting each other, Rhoda fighting the twins, and they're fighting over the entrance of that pit, and like each time they're like their body weight gets thrown around or something like that, it cracks the floor. And I sat there, I was like, okay, they're gonna fall through the floor, they're gonna get eaten by the giant snake, and that's how they get defeated. And essentially that's what happened. So um but you have Sigourney Weaver, Zeb, and some of the New Republic. They come in, blowing up the Hut Palace, taking out some of the guards and stuff like that. We got to see some battle droids, which was, I guess, okay, but pretty fun and cool. Um, but yeah, yeah. Overall, the Mandalorian and Grogu. I'd be surprised if it makes its money. To be quite honest, now Disney may view that as a win, but it just goes to show that like a lot of people always say Star Wars is dead and stuff like that, but the brand of Star Wars just has not been that strong in a while. And even when they do come out with good stuff, i.e., Skeleton Crew or Andor, you have I think a lot of fans on both sides of the fandom like Skeleton Crew, but Andor for some reason is, you either like it or you don't like it. It's such a weird thing. It's a really good series, but we'll we'll see. But guys, that's basically it. Just those are just my general thoughts about the movie. If you want to go see it, go see it. I didn't care too much for it. But we'll see what happens with the future of Star Wars. But guys, thank you for hanging out. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.